everybody. Happy Sunday of Thanksgiving. It's 63 degrees here in Las Vegas and I'm freezing. We're used to 115 degrees, and when it's 63 at 3 in the afternoon, it is cold. And the sun, which is usually back here during the day, has gone down because this is the north side of the house. Hey Teresa, thank you for being here. So here is my challenge. What one thing have you wanted to cook or tried to cook over the years and you can't do it, and you'd really like to know how to do it? So do this, type in the chat if there is one thing that you would love to be able to know how to cook, and you'd like for me to cook it for you and make it this week and figure it out. Hey Skip, if you're watching, and I know you are because it just said you are, what one thing have you never had the opportunity to cook and you would really love to cook it? And are you going to challenge me sometime this week to show you how to do it? So that's what I'm asking right now. Would you love, hey Laura McNeese, what is the one thing that you, that's it, artichoke. So here's the thing, Laura, I do not know if artichokes are in season right now. In fact, I think they're not. But even if they are not, I'm going to go through a great recipe for you so that I can tell you what to do, because I was given a recipe actually in the spring of this year that is a fail-safe recipe. So artichokes, it. For Laura McNeese. Thank you so much for being here and for challenging me with this idea. And now I have a challenge for all of you, because, well, the first challenge is to keep giving me ideas of what you would like for me to cook this week for you. So Roseanne, you just started watching, and my challenge is, what would you like to see me cook this week? Challenge me with something that you're dying to know how to cook, but you really don't have a good recipe, although Roseanne probably is the recipe genius. But is there one thing that you'd really like to see me do this week? Give me a challenge and I'll take it. And here is my challenge for all of you. If you are either watching this via tape or watching us live right now, I would like to know, what are your top 5 to 7 spices that you must have in your spice cabinet that you cannot do without? Go over to Gather with Nanny Bubby Facebook page or type it right below this video and tell me what top 5 or 7 spices you absolutely would love to have in your spice cabinet that you can't live without. And eggplant parmesan, Roseanne, oh my gosh. I mean, my eggplant parmesan is to die for. My recipe is one I created all on my own, and there's a story that goes with it, so I will make that this week and do that. All right, there you go. There's my challenge. We've got artichokes and eggplant. Give me one more, and I will definitely do those at 3 p.m. It's time for dinner with Nanny Bubby. So I'm outside in my garden, and I'm going to grab the camera, and I'm going to turn it around. There you can. Let's see. It's my all-time favorite food. Well, it's mine too, and my son-in-law's, and I created that recipe just for him. So let me turn this around. Let me see how to do this. There we go. Okay. So let me come down here. So this basil, because it's on the north side of the house, you will notice that this basil tree is starting to look very, very weak because it's not seeing the sun. And believe it or not, our nighttime temperatures are getting down to very, very low. And Laura said rosemary, thyme, cloves, chili powder, gram masala. I love that, and turmeric. So here is the rosemary, Laura, that I have. This is my fresh rosemary. This is the oregano right there. Here's the thyme. You see that? Look at that. Isn't that so beautiful? Tell me, give me a thumbs up and a heart when you see how beautiful that is. And back here is the parsley. I used so much parsley at my daughter's birthday party that I didn't have any left to make Thanksgiving, but it's starting to grow back. Look how tiny and young that is. This is Tuscan Kale. Thanks, Laura. This is the Tuscan Kale. These are the collard greens. And so tonight, hey Stephanie, thanks for being here. What are the top 5 to 7 things, Stephanie, that you absolutely cannot live without and you need to have them in your spice cabinet? You need to have them in your spice cabinet. Post those below or go over to the Gather with Nanny Bubby Facebook page and post it there. I really want to know, what are those top 5 to 7 things, spices that you need to have, can't live without. This is collard greens and this is chard. And I'm going to cut the collard greens and the chard tonight, and I'm going to saute these up. I have a fabulous recipe for collard greens, believe it or not. I've never made them in my life, and then when I did, I happened to watch and do the very best recipe you could possibly do. This is my eggplant tree. So Roseanne, my eggplant put off so much beautiful beautiful eggplant all summer long, and then it hit 115 degrees and it burned it up, and then it got cold and eggplant's out of season. But I suspect in the spring, when this plant comes back to life after a dormant winter, it's going to be incredible. Yes, I have a great recipe for collard greens. It's actually at nannybubby.com under sides, Laura, so look that up. It's amazing. It's really amazing. I give some top tips. These are my sand. Hey, Lee Butler, thank you for being here. Lee, what are the top 5 to 7 things you absolutely have to have in your spice cabinet? What are they? Hey, Steve Lewis, thanks for being here. These are my San Marzano tomatoes. Steve, if you cook or Stacy cooks, I'm not sure, but what are the top 5 to 7 spices you must have in your spice cabinet? This is my romaine. Isn't that gorgeous? And there's the sage. These are more tomatoes. These are just cherry tomatoes. Garlic, basil, celery salt, parsley, and cayenne pepper. So Teresa, garlic powder, garlic salt. Which garlic? Okay, there we go. There we go. So I have some big news for everybody. I am going to embark on a cooking course for those who are interested. We're going to begin on January 12th with our first get-together. We cannot take more than 25. Price of the course is $397. And if you know anybody who truly needs to love their kitchen, who wants to love their kitchen, I promise you, you will spend 5 weeks with me, 2 times a week. And at the end of those 5 weeks, you are going to love your kitchen. You're going to love cooking for your family. Hey, Allison, Taish, nice to see you here. And you are going to love cooking dinner for your family. And that is my promise to you. I'm going to be giving away 2 half scholarships, so let everybody know. But if you know anybody or yourself who truly, truly, truly is wanting so much to grow in their cooking so that they can nourish their family, then come spend some time with me. And you can DM me and let me know if you're interested. I'm going to be putting the offer out there, but since you guys tune in every day, I wanted you to have first shot at it, or first shot of telling someone you know. So this is the romaine. This is the red lettuce. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. And look at this kale. This kale goes in my husband's drinks. It goes in my son-in-law and daughter's drinks. Almost got that wrong. Look at these bell peppers. I left this one. Look at that bell pepper. Is that gorgeous? I cut 3 yesterday. Isn't that amazing? And look at all these blossoms. Those are all going to be bell peppers. Look at all those. Aren't those fantastic? Here's another little bell that's growing. Do you see that? I almost missed it. Oh my gosh. And look at this little baby bell. Look at that. Am I on it? Look at that. How cute is that? Let me get down in there. Oh. And now look at this basil. So we're going to come on the other side of the garden is duplication. Now this side of the garden gets sun during the winter because it's far enough out from the house. And look how much greener these leaves are from getting the sun. And this basil plant will probably make it throughout the winter. And down here is oregano. Again, some parsley. Hey, Helene. Nice to have you here, my other sister watching. My other sister is in Cancun, so Helene is watching. Heather's in Cancun, Helene. So this is the mint, more mint, and back here is more oregano. And that's an apple tree and a nectarine tree, and back here is plum. So there you have it. So my challenge, once again, let me turn you around. There we are. My challenge, once again, to everybody, is to challenge me with things that you've always wanted to cook, but just didn't know how or what to do. I'm here to take on your challenge. I've got an eggplant and an artichoke, eggplant parmesan and artichoke, which I'm going to do this week just for you girls, Laura and Roseanne. And I want to know from you, I'm challenging you to tell me what are your top 5 to 7 spices that you cannot live without in your spice cabinet. So that's it for today. I'm going to go inside and take my coat off and warm up next to the fire because it's 60 degrees here, and when you're used to 115 degrees every day, when it hits 60, it's tough to manage. Ryan's been here all her life, so Ryan, aren't you freezing on the north side of your house where there's no sun at this time of day? My toes are about ready to crack off. I don't know how they do it in Minnesota or North Dakota. I cannot do it. But anyway, I love you guys. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And remember to spread love like butter. We're here to feed our families, not just nourish them. And if you know anybody, a young mother or yourself, who absolutely wants to do a 5-week course with Nanny Bubby so that at the end they feel comfortable in their kitchen, they love their kitchen, and they're going to love making dinner for their family, then have them DM me. There's 25 spaces, and I'm really excited to take that on starting January 12th. So spread the word like butter, and spread love like butter. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.